Traders! Stop losing money on 1-minute charts and pay attention. Right now, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are quietly showing the same signal. Strength is developing, even if price action still looks confusing to most people. Higher time frames are maintaining structure. Lower time frames are confirming it. And the kind of setups that usually come before expansion are forming again. But before we get into the charts, you need to understand what's happening on the macro level, because that's seen before price moves. Let's go! First, check this out. U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis just said the Bitcoin market structure bill is about to come out. Take a listen.
Vet it. Let Republicans and Democrats vet it. And then go to markup next week.
That's great to hear. You know, you're with a room full of industry leaders and innovators, so I know we're all looking forward to seeing the draft and appreciate all the work that you put into it.
And may I add something there?
Sure.
So you're going to have a challenge next week. So because you're going to be under a tight timeline to read it and vet it and make your suggestions and get us your feedback. Because now we are at prime time now. You know, we're in the last 2 weeks, and so.
There are less than 10 legislative days for the rest of the year, I think.
That's correct. And so please set aside a swath of time when you see a draft come out later this week to really, really comb through it. Because we're ready to roll with markup.
I mean,
Wow. So that's regulatory clarity coming, not resistance. Also, I just want to say something about things like this. It really pays to learn the details of such a bill. Often when lawmakers get involved and they come up with bills like this, there could be hidden opportunities inside such bills, and people that are savvy to this, they get ahead of everyone else. So it really pays to do the research yourself and understand what this bill is about exactly and how it changes things. Second, SWIFT, together with more than 30 global banks, is now developing a blockchain-based ledger to support tokenized assets alongside existing financial systems. And remember, SWIFT currently connects 11,500 financial institutions across 200 countries. That is not experimentation. That's infrastructure. And then there's this. Putin, everyone's favorite global leader, publicly stated it's impossible to ban Bitcoin. I guess he tried. All right, let's take a listen.
Никто. А использование других электронных средств расчета. Кто может запретить? Никто, потому что это новые технологии. И чего бы ни было, чего бы ни происходило с долларом, эти инструменты так или иначе будут развиваться, потому что все будут стремиться к тому, чтобы снижать издержки и повышать.
All right, that's enough. Hey, listen, so, I mean, you know, that's great that he realizes that, but I have a question. I realize that this is a Russian event and everything, and I don't expect him to speak English here. But does this guy speak English? I've never heard him speak English. Maybe someone could let me know in the comments. I hope this guy can speak English, because if he can't, dude, bro, Duolingo, bro. That's all I can say. When regulators, banks, and global leaders all reach the same conclusion, you don't fight that trend, you position with it. Now, let's see how price is reacting. Starting with Bitcoin on the monthly, this is the anchor. Price is respecting major monthly support, and structurally, Bitcoin remains in a clear bullish trend. Higher highs, higher lows. Pullbacks inside the bullish trend are normal. This is structure, not failure. These are situations where it pays to think like the smart money. You want to be able to recognize the type of weakness to buy into, and that is exactly what this is. Sure, it can change, but right now, this is what probability favors. If you can't recognize low-risk opportunities, then what's going to happen is you're going to take high-risk opportunities. Things that are obvious, things that look good. In other words, when Bitcoin is pushing highs, you're going to say, oh, looks strong, now is a good time to buy. But that is when you take the most risk. In this game, in order to succeed, you have to take lower risk. And a key part of that is recognizing when lower risk opportunities are available. This is one of those times. On the weekly chart, Bitcoin is still consolidating, but check this out. There's something interesting going on here. We have an RSI that's making a lower low, and we have price that's making a higher low. This is a classic heads up for a potential reversal. Now, as you know, RSI can continue to stay oversold. In that situation, that would be telling us price would be breaking, right? but we don't have that yet. Remember, something like the RSI, it cannot tell us the future. What it can tell us is it gives us an idea of the probability. And in this case, the probability is increased that this price can reverse higher. Whether it reverses higher or not is another story, but it gives us a sense of probability. As you may know, I've been a big critic of things like the RSI, but they do have their place if you understand how to use oscillators like this and what type of information they bring to the table. On the daily time frame, Bitcoin just printed a bullish engulfing candle straight from a well-defined support zone. That's buyers stepping in, people. From here, the magnet becomes the buy-side liquidity above, levels which have not been compromised yet. I want to point out on this time frame, this is the double bottom formation that I've been talking about on previous videos. This bullish engulfing candle or outside bar is a form of confirmation. Now, we have these inside bars that are developing, or these consolidation candles, which can form a type of confirmation. You have to keep a closer eye on this. More about this in the next chart. And on the 2-hour, Bitcoin has broken perfectly outside of this trend line. Structure is shifting. Momentum is turning. As long as this holds, the short-term trend bias remains bullish. And check this out. After we had the failed low that we talked about in these videos, we formed a higher low, and right now, price is consolidating in this very tight channel. This is an absence of selling pressure. Understand that. An absence of selling pressure implies strength. So these resistance levels that are slightly above are more likely to break as a result. Remember, everything is a function of probabilities, and you have to look at it from that perspective. And now Ethereum. And this chart is very clean. On the 4-hour, Ethereum is forming a bullish pennant, right at a key level that price has respected multiple times previously. This is a decision zone. Below price, we have a clear 4-hour demand zone. This is where accumulation usually happens, often followed by manipulation to shake out the weak hands before the flush and expansion begin. As long as Ethereum holds this demand, the bullish structure remains intact. On the 2-hour chart, Ethereum is tightening inside of this pennant formation. We may see a quick liquidity sweep first, but if the structure holds, then this sweep becomes fuel for the next move higher. This is textbook continuation behavior, people. Also, I want to add, this structure, these lower highs and lower lows, very, very similar to the Bitcoin chart. Even the reversal that we saw recently. These markets, Ethereum and Bitcoin, are highly correlated. In fact, you can use the Bitcoin chart as a guide to trade Ethereum. Now, if we get this pullback into this demand zone right here, there is a lot of evidence that suggests that this thing is highly likely to bounce. Look at these previous touches in the area. So your job as a trader is to look for confirmation here if the market provides such an opportunity. So let's put it all together, people. Bitcoin, monthly bullish trend intact. Weekly bullish reversal signal in progress. Daily bullish engulfing from support. 2-hour breakout confirmed. Ethereum, bullish pennant on 4-hour. Sitting at a historical respected level. Strong demand below. Lower time frames coiling for expansion. And while price compresses, regulation, banks, and global leaders are aligning behind Bitcoin. That's not coincidence. Those are some serious developments and definitely worth paying attention to. And if you want to trade these levels yourself, I left my exchange links in the description. BTCC and WEX. Use them if they help. They support the channel and give you access to the same tools. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and say hello. You know I love to hear from you guys. Markets don't reward impatience. They reward preparation. Right now, structure continues to be maintained quietly. Momentum is developing and the macro backdrop is getting stronger. Patience pays, people. Respect the levels. I'll see you in the next one.